Percentage. We can define percentage as a ratio. Its second term is always 100. So we are comparing between two quantities. Its second term is always 100. Or we can consider percentage as another form of writing fractions. For example, instead of writing half, you can write it as 50%, as 50 to 100 as the same as the ratio of 1 to 2. If you have a pie and you divide it into 4 equal parts, this part you can say that this is 1 over 4, or you can consider this part as 25%. So the simple definition of percentage is another form of the fraction or a ratio. Its second term is 100. It's important to know the special cases of the percentage, especially if you are not using a calculator. If you wanted to find 50% of any value or any number or amount of money, you just divided that amount of money by 2. The same case if it's 25%, you need to divide it by 4. But if you wanted to find 75% of a value, you need to divide it by 4, then you multiply it by 3, as the value multiplied by 3 over 4. So you multiply by 3 and then divide it by 4, or you divide it by 4 and then multiply by 3, both of the same. The important special cases is 10% of any value, because to find the 10% of any number, you divide this number by 10, and dividing by 10 is moving the decimal to the left. To find the multiples of 10, for example 40% or 50% or 60%, I divide by 10 first, then I multiply by the 10th value. And to divide 1% of any value, I just divide by 100. And we are going to check by the examples in the next slide. As we said, if I wanted to find the 50% of 128 meter, all what I need to do is to divide 128 by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, so it's 64 meters. If I wanted to find the 25% of 82, all what I need to do is to divide 82 by 4, and I can simplify up and down. Divide by 2 up, divided by 2 down, is gonna be 41 divided by 2, and 41 divided by 2, it's 20.5. How I can find 75% of 30 miles? I multiply 30 multiply 3 over 4. So I going to multiply 30 by 3 and divide the answer by 4. Divided up and down by 2 is gonna be 2, 15, and 3. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5, or easily I can say it's 45 divided by 2, which is 22.5. To find 10%, this is the most important one of them. To find 10% of 19, all what I need to do is to divide 19 by 10. And if I don't have a decimal point, I put down the decimal point and I move it to the left 1 decimal place. So it's 1.9. So if I need to find the 40%, first I figure out what is the 10% of 85. 10% of 85 is 8.5. Then if I wanted to find the 40%, I multiply this answer by 4. 8.5 and 8.5 is 17, 17 and 17 is 34. How I can figure out the 90% of 74? Figure out 10% of 74, which is 7.4, and then you multiply it by 9. 9 by 4 is 36, 6 and carry up 3. 9 by 7 is 63, and 3 is 67. Again, 9 by 4 is 36, 6 and carry up 3. I put down the decimal place. 9 by 7 is 63, and 3 is 66. Sorry for that. Let's clarify more how we can find 1% of 300, and then how we can figure out 10% of 300. So together we can figure out what is 11% of 300. So if I'm asking to find 11% of 300, first I can find 1% by dividing 300 by 100, which is 3. And then find 10% of 300 by dividing 300 by 10, which is 30. So it's easy now to write that 11% of 300 is 33. But what if I wanted to find 14% of 300? We know that the 10% is 30 and 1% is 3. So 30 and 1% we multiplied by 4, so I got 4%. So it's 30 plus 12, which is equal to 42. So 14% of 300 is 42. What if I wanted to find the value of another example, 15% of 300? 10% is 30. 5% is half of 30, which is 15. So 30 and 15 is 45. And this is how to simplify the percentage of 11, 14, and 15% of a large number. Percentage of increase and decrease. There are 3 important steps to do to find the percentage of increase and decrease. First, you should decide what is the original value or number. Then you subtract the new number from the original one or find the difference between them. Then divide this difference by the original number before increase or decrease. Then I multiply the answer by 100. Example 1. A toy normally costs $450. It sold for $360. Notice that the value here decreased because the original value is 450. So original value is 450. So I should find the difference first. 450 minus 360, which is equal to $90. So I need to divide 90 by the original 450 and multiply the answer by 100. By cancelling 0 with 0 and divided here by 9 and here by 9, it will be 1 over 5. And 1 over 5 multiplied by 100 is equal to 20. So it's 20% the percentage of decrease or the reduced value for the price of the toy. Example 2. Tiger buys a car for $3,200 and he then sold it for $4,000. So we can notice that from $3,200 to $4,000 it's increasing value. So I wanted to find the percentage of the increasing. First I should find the difference, and the difference will be 4,000 minus 3,200. Notice that we subtract the bigger value minus the smaller value. It's equal to $800. So I need to divide 800 by the original, and the original here is 3,200, and multiply the answer by 100. By cancelling the 2 zeros of the 800 and the 3,200 and divide up by 8 and down by 8, it will be 1 over 4 multiplied by 100, which is equal to 25%. So the percentage of increase is 25%.